Hi, so in this example, we're going to demonstrate how to do a custom control bake using our tool here and the different results we can get out of our bake to control rig with our tool here. So by default, we can do bake to all controls, and we just press the hotkey to bake to all controls. And this is normally what you would get if you were doing a manual bake, with the ends trimmed off so that it's not running through unbounded ranges to negative and positive infinity. But rather than doing this, we're going to try to set up a control set, or we can also use later for a control mask. So what we're going to do temporarily is we're going to disable our animation clip here, and we're going to add on a layered animation clip. And from here, we're just going to turn off quickly the visualization of the bones, and we're going to select the upper body controls here. So if you hit shift here, and you can see that we need to hold down shift a few more times because you can't select through certain things, so we have to spin it around and make sure we select these guys here, and we select the head here. So note that right now with this selection mask here, we're only able to select what is currently visible. So the IK controls currently are not visible, and they won't be selected in this control selection set. So if you are curating your control selection set, you might need to be more detailed and go in and toggle them on and off in order to select the perfect control set if you're trying to get more granular. So what we're going to do is we're going to disable bake to all controls, which should reveal a few more options down here. We're going to go to include controls, and whether you are using include or exclude controls, this right tab will come out, allowing you to do more stuff with the controls here. So if we go to our control tree here, we do see that we can manually pick the controls. But rather than manually picking the controls, we're going to use what we've picked in the sequencer here. And we're going to click this third button here, and it's going to append our current selection into the list here. So from here, we probably don't want the hip or the body control. So we're just going to do a quick search, and we're going to remove the body control and the hips control here. So now that we have this control selection here, we might want to reuse this over and over again. So what we can do now is we can add this to a new group. So both the groups can be in here. It can be used for both include and exclude control groups. So we're going to name this new group called upper body. That's the group name. And we're just going to quickly save this. So now that we have this group saved out, in case we deleted this group here and then we need to bring it back at any given point, we can just switch to the groups tab, select the group, and then click this button here, and then it will add it in. So you can see here now that we have this clean list now. So alternatively, if you are trying to manually add bones, you can, or controls rather, you can click the plus button here, and then you can type in your own control names, or you can select one from the list here, going to the control tree, and then we can select something like this, and then click the add from side. And you'll see that you'll get this new control at the bottom as well. So now that we have this control set up, we're going to delete this, and we're going to bring back our original animation. So now that we have this upper body control set selected, when we are baking, if we have this checked here for include controls, we're going to currently do our first bake without this remove excluded control channels checked. And what we're going to see when we do our bake here, when selected, when we hit bake, is that we'll still have all our channels, but you'll see that we're missing a bunch of keyframes on the controls that we did not include. So you can see here, this is the lower body, and we don't have any keyframes. And then we have keys only on the controls that we specified in the include controls section. So when we look at our animation here now, you can see that he's running, but only with the upper body. And this is kind of the benefits of using this tool here, where we have the ability to include specific controls. So to demonstrate more options that we can do is we can optionally choose the exclude controls now. So what we can do as an example is we're going to take our left arm and we're going to exclude it from our set here. So go here, select that one really quick, and then just see if you can find it in the list. And let's say we didn't want to include these three controls here. We're going to add these to our exclude control list, and then we're going to do another bake. You can see here now that we have the included controls minus the excluded controls. So you can see that the three arm controls are not being animated as they do not have keys, so they're in their default positions. But the fist is still there because they weren't included in the exclude control set here. So this is useful if you want to bake to specific states. And likewise, if we wanted to get even more fancy and advanced, we can go here and we can check off our remove excluded control channels. And then when we do our bake again, you'll see that, select it, make sure we have it correct here. And we're going to have only the control channels that we've keyed here. So everything that's not keyed will not show up in the base layer. Now, normally you're not able to do this with the default control rig settings inside of Unreal, but with our tool, with some custom C++, you're able to do this and get a clean base layer with only the controls that you've chosen from your list here that have been filtered out. And that should allow you to do some custom effects with animations and being able to filter out controls inside of Unreal Engine. All right, thanks for watching.